Everyone, this is Ankur Sharma once again with another visual interaction session for you all. And as usual, I thought of touching some topic which will be close to each one of our practical life. And this was a question asked from me, just a day back. So I thought a video series on the same would be a really good thing. And the question asked was particularly about how to enhance and improve our communication skills. People, whenever we talk about communication skills, the first thing that comes to your mind is English. The first thing that comes to mind is language. Well, I want to debunk the very well-known and well-proclaimed myth over here that communication skills is something that has nothing whatsoever to do with the language, right? Communication skills is something how you use the language to communicate. Language is simply a tool. No matter whether you could be an excellent Hindi speaker, but you might be very poor in your communication skill, and somebody who is very good in English might be just a pathetic when it comes to communication skills, because communication skills has something to do with how effectively do you send and how effectively you receive from the other on terms of what is being tried to convey. Now, basically, communication skills, when you talk about, consists of 4 important components, and today we are going to be talking about the first component. Maybe in the upcoming series I will talk about the remaining 3 components as well, but the first component of the communication skills is what we're going to be maybe discussing about today, and that is listening. The first component of an effective communication is listening. It's nothing else but listening. We all have had, in our schools and in colleges, declamation contest, speech contest. I wish we also had the competitions where we could see for how long somebody could stay silent on the stage, The competitions like speech competitions and declamation questions, with due respect to all such competitions, they have done a society a great harm in some way, They have put this thought and belief very deeply into your mind that one who is a better communicator is the one who can solidly, who can very strongly, and who can very boldly, put forward his thoughts on a table. Well, that is exactly not the case, because the communication starts with speaking, but along with listening also. You must have heard speech is silver, but silence is gold. Listening is more important than speaking. It's not something that I'm just talking about. I'm going to be proving this mathematically right in the next few seconds in front of you. But yes, listening is one of those factors, and in fact all the 4 components of communication that I'm going to be discussing with you are the components, if played well with, you can ensure a 0 misunderstanding. I repeat, you can ensure a 0 misunderstanding in any of your relationships, in any of your areas, So these 4 components are those, and the first one being listening. And coming back to same, speech is silver, but silence is gold. Listen more, speak less. It's simply like if we give 100 points to each of our body organs for the primary function they perform. For example, our one right eye has got a function to see from this right eye. So it has got 100 points for seeing, right? So this right eye has got 100 points. This left eye has got 100 points. So we have total 200 points for the task of seeing. Now let's come to this. We have 1 ear, we have second ear, 100 points for this, 100 points for this. That means 200 points for the ears. And ears have a primary function. I'm talking about the primary function here is that of listening, right? So we have 200 points for listening. Now when it comes to mouth, this particular mouth has got 2 primary tasks. One is to speak and other one is to eat. Well, I'm reminded of a beautiful quotation over here. The root cause of all the problems in the world is that we do not know what should come out of the mouth and what should go inside our mouth, right? So coming back, it has got 2 functions. So 100 points are given to the mouth. That means 50 points are for speaking and 50 points are for listening. For eating, right? The 2 primary functions being speaking and eating. That means speaking has got 50 points for itself. Listening has got 100 plus 100, 200 points for itself. Speaking is to listening, 50 is to 200, that is 1 is to 4. So if you speak 20%, 4 times of it, 80%, you are supposed to listen. And that is an ideal ratio in communication. Just imagine if both the parties maintain this ratio. Both of the parties are more interested in listening to what other means, listening to what other is trying to say, and in such a case, the chances of misunderstanding are drastically reduced, because each one of you in the conversation and the communication is more interested in receiving rather than sending. And when you receive the other person effectively, it is then the misunderstandings can be avoided. The world thinks that the misunderstandings can be avoided if you send across your thoughts clearly, but I say that misunderstandings can be avoided only if you receive the thoughts from others clearly, and that can only happen through listening. So that being the very first component of listening, and listening is simply not being silent. Listening, when it comes to listening, if we talk about deep listening involves receiving the words, receiving the body language, receiving the gestures, receiving the energies, receiving the vibes. It all in all adds up everything that you can receive from the other person when the other person is trying to communicate with you. He may not speak it all through his words, then there could be some body language involved, there could be some gestures involved, there could be some eye movements involved, there could be some energies involved while that person is communicating with you, and you have to be receiving each one of them. When I say listening, that is deep listening, and deep listening is not just receiving words, it's receiving anything and everything that the sender is trying to sing to you. So if we start focusing on how good a listener I am from this moment, definitely I can guarantee on that you're going to be avoiding so many misunderstandings. I repeat, misunderstandings are not resolved by conveying your idea strongly. They are resolved by receiving the idea from the other strongly. Think about it. I hope it helps you. Thank you so much.